Hello humans, hello planet Earth, hello minds, YouTube, Internet. I am Brillionist. I am sixth. Yes, the sixth soul to inhabit a physical life form at the beginning of this iteration of the Milky Way galaxy. That specifically. I want to talk about... I think I'm going to talk about another myth of evolutionary theory, and you can call it cosmology or whatever, go ahead. Go ahead and dip and dodge all you like. Let's just call it what it is. It's another one of the myths that evolutionists, the religion of evolution, has to hang on to so dearly. Alright, so you go back a few billion years, this is, the Big Bang is what I'm talking about. You go back a few trillion, billion, whatever years, and you have a black hole. And, this black hole isn't just any old black hole. No, this one has got every bit of matter, every bit of energy there is in the entire universe inside it. And, a black hole is a singularity, right? It has no dimensions. And yet this thing has got the entire mass of the entire universe inside it, somehow. And somehow or another, it pulls this off for some length of time, and then somehow or another, it explodes. Well, let's talk about some of the details of that singularity. First of all, it has infinite mass. It has all matter inside it. It has no dimensions whatsoever, so no length, width, height, none of those things. So basically what we're talking about here is something that is an utter impossibility straight off the bat. Something that is not provable, not seeable, not measurable in any way, shape, or form. A complete mythical unicorn right off the bat. And this thing is taught as fact, as scientific fact in school, universities, textbooks all over the world as scientific fact. No, I'm sorry, it's not. It is not even a theory, because you don't even have laws of physics to back it up. It is known as bullshit. It's not real, okay? It didn't happen. You can't say it happened. You know it couldn't have happened. Nothing didn't explode into everything, period. This is complete nonsense at its most basic form. Nothing did not explode into everything. And that is the core of the Big Bang Theory. That a dimensionless, infinitely massive thing, which already sounds silly, exploded. And, well... then things went from this highly chaotic state into more and more ordered states, which I'm going to sound like a broken record here, because I'm going to say it over and over again. You can't beat entropy, period. Things don't go from low order states to high ordered states, ever. They go the other way. And also, let's talk about explosions, since we're there in the Big Bang Theory. Okay, so I would say that a hand grenade is a highly ordered state. So you have some kind of a cast iron metal shell around an explosive material inside. You have a fuse, you have a timer, you have some kind of a triggering mechanism. So you have highly ordered things that were put together by humans who have will, intelligence, purpose, creativity, so on and so forth. And they used that to take highly random materials and put them into a highly ordered state, namely a hand grenade that has yet to explode. So... you take that hand grenade, you pull the pin, you release the lever, the timer runs out, and the hand grenade explodes. So, just pure observation, what happened to the hand grenade? What happened to it? Is it still a hand grenade? Did it suddenly become an elephant? How about it became a 747? It became a wristwatch. It became a spool of solder. Name anything else in a highly ordered state that it became. Oh, that's right. It didn't do any of those things. Never. did those things. Instead, it went from a highly ordered state, namely a hand grenade, into a much more randomized, highly entropic state. Much lower energy. Now most of its energy is expended as heat, as rapidly expanding metal bits, rapidly expanding gases that quickly dissipate into a much higher level of anarchy, a much higher level of entropy, not into a much higher level of ordered states. So, let's take that a little bit further. You have a steel cabinet, and this steel cabinet is really thick, and it's capable of containing the explosive force of a 1 pound bar of C4. Okay, just as a random example. Inside this steel box, which cannot be penetrated, and it's a mythical steel box, okay? You can't knock atoms off of it, you can't explode it, you can't crack it, nothing. You know, it's a completely enclosed space. Inside this steel case, you have some random gold, some random silver, some copper, some zinc, some iron, you know, all the typical elements you find on the planet in some quantities. In fact, let's put those inside the steel box in the exact same quantities that we find in nature. So, you know, you're going to have a lot of iron, you're going to have a lot of aluminum, you're going to have a lot of oxygen, carbon dioxide, carbon, things like that. You're going to have all these kinds of things, you know, in greater quantities than you will, say, uranium, or you know, molybdenum is going to be, you know, less quantities, or platinum is going to be way less quantities, or gold is going to be in much less quantities. So some elements are going to be in much less quantities because we're trying to duplicate the typical Earth quantities of these things inside this steel box. And then you have, smack in the middle of all this stuff, a block of C4. You know, 1 pound block of C4. Let's say that this steel box is, I don't know, 10 inches by 10 inches by 10 inches. So fairly confined space. A really confined space, especially for a pound of C4, that's a really confined space. So we have an energy source, and we have all the raw materials to make everything on this planet. And then you ignite. You set off the energy source, the C4. Boom! That energy expands outward, held inside this 10 inch by 10 inch by 10 inch cube of solid steel. Some of those atoms combine together, some of those elements combine together, some of them break apart, some of them combine together in new ways. You know, because, hey, you know, you pass around heat, something's going to happen. You know, you pass around energy in a random way, something's going to happen. But after it's all settled down again, the energies have now dissipated off. You know, things have gone back down to quiescent state because that's what happens. Entropy always wins. The laws of thermodynamics always win. You know, that highly energetic state inside the steel box is eventually going to dissipate away. That happens. You can prove it. You know what happens. That's just the nature of everything. So when that happens, you crack open the box. You know, saw it in half. I don't care how you do it. And now what you're doing is you're looking inside that box at all that random material that you stuck in there, you know, matching all of the elements on the planet, you know, the proportions that are found here. And you're looking for things that went from a lower ordered state to a higher ordered state. And I want to see, I don't know, a wrench, a spark plug. How about a new block of C4? How about an igniter? How about a 1 inch length of wire? I want to see a bird. I want to see anything inside that steel box that went from the random state into a much more higher ordered state. Anything. Go ahead. Find it. But you know, as do I, that's never going to happen. Never, ever, ever. 1 billion blocks of C4 inside 1 billion steel boxes with all the exact same ingredients in there, and every single one of them explode, every single one of them, and what do you get? Chaos. You don't get higher ordered states. This is such nonsense. So the Big Bang, seriously? It created galaxies that spiral, and it created accretion disks that form solar systems. You're kidding, right? It's just the biggest explosion that there is in the entire universe, and some another. This creates ordered state, while smaller, experimental examples only create chaos. I got to tell you, people that believe in the Big Bang, you're nuts. Okay, you're believing in a myth. Not possible. Not going to happen. Could a really enormous explosion that encompassed the universe happen? I would say that, sure, yeah, why not? But would it create, galaxies? No, never. Would it create, solar systems? No, never. Would eventually life create out of that thing? No, we're talking about low order states going to high order states. Exact opposite of the 3 laws of thermodynamics, of entropy. No, never going to happen. Not going to happen, period. Random explosive energy output does not create order. It creates chaos. Always. You know this as fact. You can see it. You can observe it. So why believe the lie that it does something else? Because it never does. It simply never does. So, Big Bang. What a joke. Seriously? You'd have to be an idiot to believe that would work. You'd have to be. You have to take it on faith that it works that way. It's a straight up religion to believe that the Big Bang happened and that it created the universe. What nonsense! No proof ever, no experimental data ever shows that random explosiveness produces high states of order. Never happens. You can't observe it happening, ever. Because entropy always wins. Chaos only creates chaos. The only way you get higher order states is with will, with purpose, with intelligence, with creative design. That's the only way you get higher ordered states, with the exception of crystals. And then they break down eventually too, because entropy always wins. So, Big Bang, what a joke. Don't believe it. You couldn't get me to believe it. Flies in the face with everything that we know, everything that we can observe. Flies in the face of all those things. Laws of physics says it's not gonna happen. You can observe it over and over again. Never going to happen. So, this is Brillionist saying the Big Bang is bunk. What a joke.